everybody, in this video we're going to use Minitab to solve problems involving the normal distribution. Our first question says the monthly price of ad-free streaming services are normally distributed with a mean of $14 and a standard deviation of $3.50. We want to find the probability that a randomly selected streaming service costs less than $10 per month. In this case, we're finding the probability that x is less than 10. Remember, when we go to Minitab, we need to tell it if we're looking at an area that's in the right tail, the left tail, in the two ends, or in the middle. Less than is going to be in the left tail. Also, when we get to Minitab, because we're now doing a normal distribution and not a standard normal distribution, we need to enter the values of the mean, which is 14, and the standard deviation, which is 3.5. We'll start by going to Graph, Probability Distribution Plot, View Probability. We're going to enter that the mean was 14 and our standard deviation was 3.5. In the options, we are looking for a specified x value that is in the left tail. This is where we enter the value of 10. In the graph, we can see the left tail is shaded and our probability is 0.1265 or 12.65%. Now let's find the probability that a randomly selected streaming service costs more than $22 per month. Because it says more than, we're finding the probability that x is greater than 22. This means we're looking at a right tail. When we go back to Graph, Probability Distribution Plot, View Probability, we just need to change the option to a right tail where the value is 22. This time we can see a very small area is shaded and that corresponds to 0.01114. That would be 1.114%. Let's change our scenario. This time we have that monthly internet costs for home broadband plans with at least 100 Mbps are normally distributed with a mean of $75 and a standard deviation of $15. We want to find the probability that a randomly selected plan costs over $100 a month. Over means greater than, so we'll be finding the probability that x is greater than 100. Because we've changed problems, we'll have to change our mean and our standard deviation. Our mean is now 75 and our standard deviation is 15. So Graph, Probability Distribution Plot, View Probability. We're keeping a normal distribution, but now we have a mean of 75 and a standard deviation of 15. We are going to the right, and our value is 100. This tells us our probability that a randomly selected plan costs over $100 a month is 0.04779 or 4.779%. Next, let's find the probability that a randomly selected plan costs between $50 and $60 a month. This means we're looking for the probability that x is greater than 50 but less than 60. This is a case where we're finding the probability in the middle of two values. So from Graph, Probability Distribution Plot, View Probability, we get to keep our mean and standard deviation, but in the options we switch to middle. We enter the value of x1, 50, the value of x2, 60. Minitab shades our area from 50 to 60 and tells us that the probability is 0.1109 or 11.09%. Let's find the maximum monthly cost someone can pay and still be in the cheapest 15% of the internet plans. This means we're finding the 15th percentile of the distribution. So instead of finding a probability for an x, we're looking at a given probability and we want to know the value of x. So when we go back to Graph, Probability Distribution Plot, View Probability, on the options, we're going to switch to a specified probability. This specified probability is going to the left and it's equal to 15, so we're putting in 0.15. This says that $59.45 is the cheapest someone can pay per month and be in the lowest 15% of plan options. Our last two problems will be based on the weight of adult female goats on a farm. It says that they are normally distributed with a mean of 90 pounds and a standard deviation of 12. We want to find the percent of adult female goats that weigh less than 75 pounds. We know that less than is going to be a left tail, so we're finding the probability that X is less than 75. In our graph, probability distribution plot, view probability, we need to change our mean to 90 and our standard deviation to 12. In the options, we're going to go back to a specified X value. That X value is going to go to the left, and we're putting in an X value of 75. This shows us a probability of 0.1056. This means that 10.56% of these adult female goats weigh less than 75 pounds. Our last problem says, what's the minimum weight of a goat in the top 10% of the distribution? The top 10% means we're looking to the right tail. So back in the graph, probability distribution plot, view probability, we're going to go to the options, and we're looking at a specified probability that we said is in the right tail. That right tail had a probability of 0.10, and this gives us a weight of 105.4. When we look at the top 10%, 10% is on the right, 90% is on the left. This 105.4 corresponds to the 90th percentile of the weights for adult female goats on this particular farm.